Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. No. He definitely said Uncle Yola. Yeah. I know it's so creepy. No. No, preeclampsia. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, large pepperoni. Yeah. Cheers. Yep. Thanks. Bye. Sorry about that. I'd see man about horse. And by horse, I mean therapy session. And by man, I mean my mummy. So let's catch up on Halls. The sci-fi jaunt centering on the crew of the Axial Tilt. Greg, K11, Sato. Greg and co met the bona fide space gangster Borad on Astron and received a load of probably illegal cargo to transport to Varugel 6, a planet infested with monsters. Before leaving Astron, they bumped into Philo, who helped them escape a set of guards and accompanied them back to their ship with an undisclosed intentions. Meanwhile, a mysterious bounty hunter, Vex Russo, was tracking Philo right up until she boarded the Axial Tilt. And that just about brings us up to... Sorry, one second. Mum, where's my fucking pizza? Enjoy the episode, guys.
Beautiful.
Very well done. Very well read, mate.
But you're still getting the pizza, right?
Yeah.
Oh, days. I don't see what's fucking creepy about Uncle Yola. Uncle Yola doesn't find it creepy whatsoever.
Cause waves.
I've forgot to do one thing.
Press record.
Yeah, no. I got all that in all its glory. Again, yeah. Won't be the first time. Just a little aesthetic thing. You've got the little bubble that says that you are the writer, Burge, which you are. You wrote this one. Yay! How did you find it, Burge?
Yep. I found
You've never done pre-applause before. Where'd that come from?
It's Burge. He gets all the applause.
Yeah. It's the mustache. It was good. I kind of enjoyed it. I liked the constraint, and it was. I think you said this last week, Adam, that it was a.
You're all excited now.
I didn't forget your name. I was like.
He said my name.
What? It was. Bro, it was. You said that it was like.
I want to say Adam.
Yes.
Because it was, I don't know, I don't know, there's something about it where you could go anywhere, but not exactly anywhere, because you have to stay with the story that Luke had built, right?
Yeah.
So there's something quite challenging about that. I thought that I wanted to sort of try and propel or progress the plot without, I don't know. This isn't like, because it's slightly more like, it's lighthearted, it's slightly more serious. I found that challenging, not to just be like, and I didn't drop any F-bombs. I didn't, there's no swearing in this. At all. But like every single line, I was just like, it'd be funny if someone said this. I was like, I'm not going to do that. Just trying to stay true to the like Luke's idea. So I think I think it's like, what I hope is that it'll be, if you read all three of them back to back, you'd be like, that's the tone is basically the same. I was trying to like match your guys' tone, I guess. So yeah, it's good. And that's all there is to say about it.
Sort of like tonally appropriate. This like, I mean, we've only had two realistically, but they've been really they've matched each other quite well. They've like sort of like progressed from one another quite well. I mean,
kind of hoping kind of hoping Burge has dropped the ball on that, so that it's less pressure for me next week. Or
Absolutely. I've said this before. That I'm really terrified for this one. I don't know why.
It's increasingly pressurized. It's like, yeah, nailed it. Yeah, Burge has nailed it. Oh fuck.
No, it's like I've had to. I feel like I've had to like continue on with someone else's story and sort of like not like make it like a typical Yolo Roberts idiotic affair. Like with the Chateau one, I felt like a similar.
Yeah, I
sort
think
of,
the
like,
Chateau is probably the closest example, isn't it? Where it was relatively self-contained, wasn't it, and kind of continuation of
But I think the
setting in the
difference is
story.
that if I shat the bed with the Chateau one, I don't think Burge would care, whereas Luke could shout at me.
Absolutely
and
would
the
not.
fundamental difference of it.
No,
Luke's got
I
a vision.
I thought
now,
it'd be a good challenge for us not to go wacky and to follow a formula of sorts, because wacky is our bread and butter.
Get to the end point. I've decided.
Yeah.
I haven't
Have
no
you been
input
Have you
whatsoever.
been receiving secret notes from Luke during the rating process?
Oh yeah, when it's your turn, he'll be in touch.
Schedule your meeting.
We're continuing on with the script of the group's bully, apparently.
So glad the spinner landed on you. Just here's some notes.
That's at least 18 pages worth of content.
Can I ask what you're thinking of doing?
I mean, out of all of us, I think Luke is the one that we'd write the tell-all about. It's like working with Luke, the nightmare scenario.
The dungeon years.
No, Luke, I'm kidding. But I'm just like it's I don't know. Sci-fi is I enjoy sci-fi writing and stuff like that as well. But I'm just really scared about this one because I don't want to like screw up the vision. Because I think like you guys are bona fide like sci-fi experts.
You'll get into it, and like I'm not like massively as much of a sci-fi aficionado as these guys, but I have watched Firefly, which was useful.
Yeah, I have watched that as well. But it's not even the sci-fi element of it. It's like I think Burge said something last week that terrified me. Is Burge was like, yeah, I've just sort of like stuck to the beats of what a movie script would be at now, and I'm like, I don't know where the frick a movie script would be at now. So I'm having to like consider like, are we in act 2 or 3? Am I meant to be introducing?
That was just that was just bullshit to make you feel bad. Like don't.
Someone's taking the reins of the group bully.
A finite point. It can end at a cliffhanger. It doesn't have to go to Vorogel 6. I don't even know.
No, we have to go to Vorogel 6.
Yeah, it's Chekhov's gun. It's like Chekhov's
Don't worry
planet.
about why.
We have to go there.
Maybe they crash land on a moon. Who knows?
You'll know when we get there.
Maybe they go through the time portal.
Burge's script goes like, cut to Vorogel 6. Like, yeah, that took us straight there.
Yeah, I don't know what the beats of a movie.
There is like the definitive pattern to a movie. It's like when I come to writing. I mean, Burge, I think you like when you come to your writing, and this is just like I'm talking now, but when you come to your writing, you've said before that you and I have different writing methods in that you fastidiously plan things beforehand, whereas I just fart on a page and hope it forms words.
Well, it's like they call it like a planner or a pantser, like that sort of the idea that you. But like I think sometimes you like to get pantsed, you know. Everyone, it's a bit of frisson in the in the writing process.
Wow.
Well done for nearly keeping a straight face when you said that.
Oh, that's great.
No, but do you think that recap was enough? By the way,
I was going to say just before we get into it, are we happy with the recap? Do we just want a quick?
I tried to make it like as
Fairly
succinct, yeah,
but yeah, fairly thorough rather than like.
Yeah, I think it's quite good.
Yeah, I think we're good. Pretty good. Oh. It's Luke's latest transition noise.
Oh God, I wish I knew where the time was. 9 minutes. Cool. I'll know as Burge said. I'll know by his absence. But yeah, I think it's like I'm trying my best to be better at like pre-planning things. Because I am trying to sort of like finish a sort of like a really terrible movie script at the moment, and I am like struggling with like the beats of it. I bought a book actually called like On Story or something. It's called where like it's like talking more about like the shape of a story.
So Robert McKee.
Yeah, that's him. Yeah.
It's really good. That. Yeah, really good.
I've heard good things about it, so I'm trying to read that to sort of like get a better basis of like how a story should flow, because it's always feel like it's my struggle that like I remember like reading into like the Dan Harmon story circle when I was writing scripts and stuff, and it just like really irked me for some reason that I had to like stick to these like definitive points, and they all had to go back to being the same thing at the start. I'm like, oh god, this is so like it felt like limiting, but I suppose that it has its uses. Makes it more cohesive script, I suppose, because I do struggle with it.
It's just like when you go through any script, like any successful film or TV show, they all follow the same beats. You know, it's just that is just the formula, and it is annoying when you first learn about it, because you're like, no, I want to be like you sort of like shitting on my creative freedom, man. But it's just like that's just how a story works. So,
sorry, are we back into it in terms of Luke being back in the room? Yeah, Luke, we're good to go. Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't trying to. Sorry.
No, but you did.
Crushing our vibe, man.
I know. Sorry.
No, but so before we get properly back into it, I might include this, and I'll just sort of like cut to between it or whatever.
Yeah.
But Blacklist released the top 10 like unproduced scripts recently, like the ones that are like they always sort of like get together and they rate the top 10 Blacklist scripts, which are like the unwritten ones. And I made the conscious effort this time around to try and read them. And as you said, Burge, they all fit a formula. But like every single one of them, I'm reading them, I'm going like, I would have never taken it there. Do you know what I mean? Like I would have never like focused in on this little aspect of it. But I suppose you have to set up this next bit and this next bit. So it's really interesting sort of like practice. But anyway, back in the room. Luke Williams, give me a noise. Excellent noise. Top quality.
Always different.
Yeah, I know.
Somehow.
It's considering it's been 40 episodes and like 3 transitions an episode. It's pretty good going.
Resident bully and Foley artist.
Is somebody going to lead me in with recap once the? Or do you just want me to start reading?
Yeah, I'll lead you in. Yeah. Do you want me to say page 1 as well?
That'd be or just 1 would be great.
1. We ready?
I think so. We're good to go.
Let's roll.
1 recap.
Just because she doesn't want to kill us doesn't mean we know everything about her.
Greg gets bashful and defensive.
What? Come off it. No way. You're crazy, man. Why? Did you say something?
Not again. Come on, Greg. This never goes well.
I'm quite sure I have no idea what you mean, sir.
Come off it. It's any woman with a pulse. And to be fair, I think only one of us doses a hard, fast rule.
She's different. There's something about her.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Cut to, God. Interior, docking bay, airlock, exterior. Moments later. Back at the now closed airlock door, Tex Russo watches the axial tilt slowly move away from the Asteron facility. Green smoke swirls into the recycled air and a cigarette falls to the floor, alongside the smashed remains of the tracking device. Vex's boot stamps out the cigarette. 2. But suddenly, no, I'm joking, I won't say all the bit. But suddenly, episode 41, Fallers, Part 3, written by Adam Jacob Burgess. Interior, axial tilt main deck, sometime later. Much like its external structure, the main deck of the axial tilt is not in the best of nick. It's in the best of Greg, and that means it's ramshackle but not without love. There are posters on the walls from famous holovids, a comfortable sofa, and a state-of-the-art coffee machine. There's one of those large multi-purpose tables in the centre of the room which functions as dining table, space chess table, and meeting table. Greg and Sato sit round one side of it with Philo on the other. K11 busies himself at the coffee machine.
We're waiting.
But, no rush.
Well, some rush. Because we have no idea who she is or where she's actually from.
Relax, man. We're still 40 megaclicks from drop-off. We have time.
I've told you before, there's no such thing as a mega click.
Sounds cool, though.
But it means no one knows what the hell Tash you're on about.
Sticking to the tone of weird sci-fi phrases.
Yeah, okay.
Hell Tash is great.
Philo chuckles to herself. Sorry, the whole odd couple routine. It's very cute. K11 brings a tray of steaming frothy mugs to the table and lays them out in front of the others.
Here are the Perthrovian lattes, sir. And can I just say, it's so great to see you making the most of my recent firmware update.
Cool it on the sarcasm, Kay.
You're the boss.
A winky face appears on K11's face screen. Philo chuckles again. Sato groans.
Just start from the beginning.
Okay, well, I was born on the moon of Nygath, out beyond the Centurion Shield Galaxy.
Maybe start a smidge closer to the end.
I'm a K11's face screen shows a clock slowly ticking. Just as Philo is about to respond, an alarm blares and a red light flashes on and off throughout the deck.
What now?
Greg and K11 run into the cockpit. Sato follows, but not before signalling to Philo that the conversation isn't over. Interior axial tilt cockpit continuous. Greg and K11 jump into their torn leather flight chairs. Greg immediately starts flicking switches and dials on the main console. K11 quickly undoes everything Greg activates, while entering the index finger of his other hand into the console. A radar screen shows a lot of enemy spacecraft.
It appears we're being followed.
The tilt rocks from side to side as it is clearly hit by something.
What gives you that idea?
Cool on the sarcasm, sir.
The door hisses open and Sato stands in the doorway.
Guns or engine?
We're being hailed.
Put them through.
K11 presses a button and a little holographic image appears on the console. It depicts some kind of hairy beast with multiple eyes and a face only its mother could love, and even then, it roars something incomprehensible. Greg and K11 share a look and then look back at Sato.
Guns.
Oh, guns.
It's almost
That was
appropriate.
one of the worst ones.
Yeah.
I saw
It worked.
I saw Sato and I for some reason thought K11 and Sato said it together. 1, 2, 3, guns.
Guns.
Heard it the first time.
Sato runs out the door. Greg retrieves a folded up parchment from behind the spaceship equivalent of a sunshade. It is revealed to be a star chart.
We need to find some cover. If we can make it to Gamma 5, we can use this asteroid belt there.
The tilt rocks unsteadily. K11 flicks several switches on the console and then pulls a manual steering wheel from within the console.
That's putting quite a lot of faith in my piloting abilities.
What about that firmware update?
A pair of crossed fingers appears on K11's face screen. Exterior space continuous. The axial tilt dodges and swerves as it is pursued by a fleet of space fighters. Off to one side and observing the action is the fallen Chimera, a sleek triangular ship which moves effortlessly and silently. The pursuit of the tilt is reflected in the large glass window of the Chimera, on the other side of which stands Vex Russo. The view shifts and suddenly we are inside Russo's ship. Interior, the fallen Chimera. Vex Russo watches the axial tilt exchange gunfire with the smaller ships with some amusement.
This gets more interesting.
There is a clunk from somewhere behind him. With remarkable speed, Vex spins around, simultaneously drawing a gun in each of his 4 hands.
You picked the wrong ship to stow away on. I will always shoot first.
That's my Star Wars reference, because you guys both had that. Yeah. We see the space battle continue behind him as Vex edges toward his console deck away from the large window.
Sorry. Come out, wherever you are.
Vex creeps closer still, and then lightning fast hurls himself over the console and points his 4 guns at Winnie, a 10-year-old girl who also has 4 arms.
Oh, sweetie, what do you say about following Daddy while he's working?
Interior axial tilt cockpit. Steam hisses and sparks fly as the tilt is buffeted by enemy fire. K11 steers the vessel this way and that. The asteroid belt can be seen in the distance. Greg speaks into a small internal comms device.
Do you want to try hitting one, Sato?
Apologies, I'm a little rusty with the equipment. I only learnt we had about 2 hours ago, but... Oh, and also, I'm a bloody engineer.
The alarm blares again inside the tilt.
If you want something doing...
Greg bolts it from the cockpit and slides through a chute into a small turret at the bottom of the ship. Interior, gun turret B. It's a tight squeeze into the turret, which has a spherical glass covering and a rotatable chair. Greg gracelessly slides into the seat in front of a turbo cannon. He has a Cheshire cat grin.
I can't believe this was here the whole time.
It had never come up, sir.
Greg takes hold of the glove-like controls and begins firing indiscriminately. Interior, gun turret A. Sato grins as he swivels in his seat and fires at an enemy ship passing overhead, missing.
Don't tell me to let him loose on the cannons, Kay. He can barely hit Grogan's ships in the holo arcades.
The holographic radar screen blinks as one of the enemy fighters disappears. Sato sees the debris of the destroyed ship spinning into the distance. Interior, gun turret B. Swiveling round in his seat, Greg fist pumps.
Woo! Suck it, Sato! First blood!
Beginner's luck.
I'm just a natural.
Exterior space. The fleet of narrow space fighters are being picked off by the axial tilt's turbo cannons, but not without reciprocal damage to the tilt. The asteroid belt looms into view. A bolt of blue light pierces one of the space fighters through its wing. It careens away from the fracker toward the stealth ship observing things from a distance. Interior, the fallen Chimera. The shattered enemy vessel appears to be heading straight for the large glass window of the Chimera, but just before impact it hits an invisible shield and disintegrates. Vex Russo leans against the flight consoles next to his daughter Winnie.
How old are we talking here?
I think 10, she was.
I don't want to go home. It's so boring.
I know, honey, but we said we'd wait until your 13th birthday before we got you involved in the family business.
That's 3 whole cycles away. Could have worked it out from that, couldn't I, really?
Vex considers his daughter. A thought pops into his head.
What's the most important rule of bounty hunting?
That's easy. Information is king.
Right. And if you want to stay, give me information.
Vex points out of the window to the axial tilt. It enters the asteroid belt, weaving between large chunks of rock. The space fighters follow. Winnie tries to contain her excitement.
So the mark is on the battered ship. They're outmaneuvering and outgunning the fighters. Now that they've entered the belt, the battle will be over in the next minute.
And?
Out of the window, the axial tilt dodges round an asteroid at the last second, causing an enemy fighter to smash straight into it. And then the tilt's turbo cannons pick off 2 more ships.
They're using an awful lot of fuel in this little fight, and they didn't refuel on Asteron, which means they're going to need to make a stop before Virgo 6.
What else?
The only place to refuel in this sector is Quinto, and Quinto has lots of places to lay in wait.
Vex Russo walks around the other side of the flight console and inputs commands. He wears a proud smile.
Clever girl. Let's go get our mark.
Just threw in a Jurassic Park reference as well, just for
Yeah.
Exterior space. The fallen Chimera zooms off away from the fracker. Meanwhile, the last space fighter spins around the axial tilt, letting off a barrage of gunfire. The tilt slows, pivots, and finally destroys the last ship, which floats as debris in front of it. Interior, axial tilt cockpit, moments later. Greg rushes back into the cockpit. K-11 is frantically pressing buttons. Through the window, they can see the destroyed enemy ship and its pilot half dead, but it doesn't dislodge from the front of the tilt. It's stuck somehow.
Get rid of it!
I'm trying.
K-11 presses a few more dials on the console. The holographic display activates again, and the beast from before is shown, slumped over and wheezing. One of his arms is missing.
For God's sake, Kay, get it off the screen!
I'm trying. The console took significant damage during that flight.
Its arm is hanging off. I don't need to see this.
Now perhaps you could try helping, sir. I'm currently navigating an asteroid belt.
Finally, K-11 hits upon the right series of button presses and dials on the broken console to jettison the destroyed space fighter away from the tilt. The hologram cuts off.
You can speak Clargran, can't you? Welsh for toast.
The delivery of that. I speak several 100,000 languages and dialects, sir. I can also work the coffee machine.
Any idea what we're saying?
I believe it was begging for mercy.
Yes. What did it want in the first place?
Greg!
I love the description.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Perfect. Greg exchanges a look with K-11 before leaving the room. Interior axial tilt main deck, moments later. On the main deck, Sato and Philo stand looking at something in the corner. It isn't obvious what it is at first. Greg approaches casually. Sato rounds on Greg.
Are you going to tell us at any point?
Context is key, mate. Tell you what.
Sato and Philo move out of the way to reveal the small translucent sphere from Borad's office. It floats in place and emits a pleasant hum.
Ah, you found my Gion sphere then?
You know these are incredibly dangerous and incredibly illegal, right?
No wonder the guards are after us at the restaurant. Not to mention us almost getting shot down by a Claran fleet.
That doesn't make
I figure
sense.
it's like Spanish. You have to apply the accent to it.
To it.
Garcia.
That doesn't make sense. I was so careful.
You don't think Borad puts trackers on all his ill-gotten goods? Greg stares at the others blankly.
So you think that it's possible that Borad... You reckon Borad might know I've stolen this?
He definitely knows you like Louisiana leaf blower.
K11 enters the main deck.
Right, we're clear of asteroids, so I will set us on a course for Quinto to refuel. And what's with the tension in here?
Just the usual. Gregor certainly got us killed in the near future.
K11 takes in the giant sphere. He approaches Philo.
I suppose you'll be wanting to take the sphere into custody then?
Greg and Sato look bemused. Philo frowns. You know what I am?
Well, yeah, you're a cop.
There's an awkward pause while Greg assesses this information. Then he bursts out laughing. But after a few moments, Philo's expression and K11's face screen, which displays the straight-faced emoji, tells Greg that this wasn't a joke.
You brought a cop on board, Kay?
I believe my exact words were, "We're not safe to leave with her."
Nah, I'm pretty sure you never said that.
I took the liberty of recording the conversation, sir.
K11 presses a button on his chrome chest plate. The conversation from earlier plays.
Look, it's irrelevant. We don't want the giant sphere. Take it with you and arrest Borad for all we care. We don't want anything to do with it.
Well, we want a little bit to do with it.
You boys sure like the sound of your own voices.
Feels right. We should let the giant sphere decide who it wants to go home with.
Not what I meant. The translucent sphere vibrates uncertainly. There is a hiss, and then the sphere opens in the center. Multicolored lights shine from the middle as it speaks.
Please don't send me back there.
Great. The others exchange a look. Greg scratches the back of his head.
I've got to be honest, I had no clue that it was a sentient. I thought that was just a myth.
I can assure you I am most certainly not a myth.
To be honest, selling it now that I know it's alive feels a bit unethical.
Well, don't worry. The police officer you were so desperate to bring aboard already has something arranged, I'm sure.
The crew of the Axial Tilt look at Philo, who seems to be listening out for something. There is a distant clanking sound. I'm not here for the giant sphere. Philo crouches on the ground and puts her ear to the floor. There is suddenly a loud thump and then a squelchy roar.
What was that?
Came from the cargo deck.
Philo stands up and pulls out a blaster from a waistband. She charges it up and begins walking out of the room. Borad doesn't just deal in illegal goods.
Nice.
Very good.
Very good.
Very, very nice.
I thoroughly enjoyed that. You know what, the part that I probably enjoyed the most, really loved it, was Greg flicking the switches and K11 immediately undoing it.
Yeah.
And then sticking his finger
That's
in.
Yeah.
It was great.
That is perfect.
I really like the Rex having a daughter. Is a really cool.
Yeah, that's cool. That I like that.
Really
Yeah, it's gonna be
interesting
nice little mechanic to play with for the next writer.
I feel like there's this thing that happens with us suddenly where, like, if you are just reading it out because you're so conscious of what you have to say, you don't really take it in until you've written it. So I'll be honest, I don't remember a single thing about a giant sphere. Where was the giant sphere? What's that come from?
You didn't name it. It was just a sphere. Remember when they were walking down the hall? There was loads of artifacts.
Oh, and he
When
was
they
dead
went
interested
to
in one of them.
Borad's office. Yeah, he was interested in a few of them. But yeah.
He's pocketed one, right? Fair enough. That's all I needed, really.
Yeah, I thought because the guards were after them, I don't think it was fully explained why the guards were after them.
No, I love it.
Though, correct me if I'm wrong, Adam.
No, it's open-ended, wasn't it?
So yeah, I thought it'd be a nice touch to have like that Greg's just gone, just like.
I do like it. I do because there was this sort of idea that I had in my head that was like, oh, okay, Greg's a little bit more capable in this one. because he like was like fighting and doing the things, which makes sense with what like the context that I think Adam added, or maybe it was in Luke's original one where like Greg's dad was like a very famous sort of like hauler or wherever he was back in the day. So it would make sense that Greg would be around that and would sort of like take in at least some of it. But then I like that it's like that sort of like Greg is actually becoming good. Nope, Greg fucked up and is the reason for all this shit. So I just like that sort of like pulling, like sweeping the rug from under you from right at the end. It was really good. I really, really enjoyed that, mate.
Great.
Thoroughly
Thanks.
enjoyed it.
Well, it was really well read. Like I think like it's great to have Yola do like a main character as well. Like I think it's like I think you read it really well, that character, and it was like it was also quite easy
It's like a straight
to
man
write
as well.
that.
It's just you essentially. I think.
When I initially wrote it, I wrote it as you.
That's good. I'm glad. I quite like reading as myself. I feel like I don't have to like sort of add this Mexican to it.
Your delivery is really spot on.
Okay, I would read it as this. So I would like, hey man, I would read it. I don't have to sort of like do that with it, which is really nice. Plus, you don't give me slugs to read anymore, which is great. But I love haulers. I both love haulers and I love the 15-page pace. I think as a episode of this, it works really well. It's really nicely well paced.
Great delivery with K11 as well, Adam. Like really lovely.
I'm still not quite sure where to pitch him. I'm still figuring it out. But.
I think I really like because some like some of the lines he comes up with is like dead snarky and stuff. I love it, and like especially when, it's like what was it like? Less the sarcasm, sir. Like back just as I had said that and all this like sort of firmware stuff.
I love playing the recording thing was hilarious. That was
yeah. I've recorded the conversation. You're like, ooh.
That's Father Ted. I don't know whether you remember that.
So.
There's like Dougal gets Ted into trouble, and then he says like, and Father Ted's like, no, I didn't say anything, like that in front of the bishop. And then Dougal's like, I took the liberty of recording the conversation. He's just got a little tape recorder and he plays it back, and it just gets him into loads of shit.
That's so funny.
I also thought, Winnie was read like really well, and I love that you kind of based it off of Luke's.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. I was like, okay, so it's a daughter, so I got to kind of match the tone, I guess. So
it was really good.
But yeah, I like that dynamic. Actually, I think it's going to be something to play with, that, isn't it? I think going forward,
definitely, because like,
preparing the ambush, presumably.
Like Rex Russo, or Rex, what's his name?
Vex
Russo. Yeah. He kind of like came off in the last one as like sort of like the scary bounty hunter, and now we've like established this like this not weakness, but it's like this vulnerability to him. So I think there's like an interesting ideas developing the story forward. There's some sort of interesting ideas in that, like sort of like Vex Russo sort of like the actual Tilt might warm themselves to Vex Russo by somehow looking after his daughter or something like somehow. Like,
otherwise, like it could be like that race is like they're all kind of bloodthirsty. They're just like the top of their game at bounty hunting. And
it's funny you say that, Yolo, because I felt the opposite. You said it's a vulnerability. I felt it made him sharper and more dangerous because she came across as a bit of a prodigy, and if he's capable and able, the fearsome bounty hunter, and she's doing that at 10 years old, that to me that adds an other layer of danger. Like, she's probably going to be more ruthless.
The movie's post-credit scene is her picking up like her father's pistol, and then like the second one is like the daughter of Rex Russo, haulers too.
Django.
Yeah. I'm getting like Hit Girl vibes from Kick-Ass sort of thing.
Yeah.
She's had the training from a very young age.
But anyway, it was really interesting. I quite liked it. I like that there's like a few stops. So obviously we've got Vargas. What was the name of the place that we are stopping?
Vogel 6.
Vogel 6 is where you said we were going, but then isn't there another spot now that established?
Yeah, so that's where they're refueling
Refueling,
at Quinton, which is where Winnie anticipated they could potentially go. So they're potentially setting up an ambush there, I would say, maybe.
Which is very, very cool.
Like we said, this doesn't necessarily, the 5 doesn't necessarily have to be the end. The 5 turns.
I've said this
continue
before.
after Phil returns from.
Yeah, that'd be good. Could be a good time to like revisit it, couldn't it? After the travel saga, as it's.
We've got plans for you.
Oh, I know. I spoke to Yella. I've heard rumours.
Just keep talking. Talk more.
Yeah.
Tell me, Phil, what else did you get up to whilst you were there?
Yeah. I went to church for 18 hours a day. Cleanse myself of my sins.
Cool.
We ready for a spinner?
Yes. Let's spin to win. Right. So first spinner is. We'll leave the who's writing it to the very last one. So this one has Luke and Adam, which I think means who's.
Can we see the spinners? I want to see it when it lands on me both times.
Yes. I did establish a way of doing this last time, so there you go. You are now seeing the spinners. If you have shared the screen. So
this is
one...
writing an intro, right?
Yeah.
Yes, writing an intro, and I'm spinning it now. So who's writing?
Oh, it's Adam.
Adam.
It is
Adam. Pray for Yola, guys. Pray for Yola.
So next up is Luke and Yola, who has it to read. So here we go. Play for
Yola.
I'm loving
Yola.
It's
Yola. Yes, Yola.
That means next time Luke writes for Luke.
I'm so happy.
It's true. You have like a own one. And then who is?
Go back to 12 minutes on the video where I said this would happen.
I recorded the conversation from earlier. Phil and Yola, who is writing the next one? Please be Phil.
It's Phil.
Yes. Philip Roberts.
Can I turn out for Thursday's question? Wait, this is Thursday, right?
Yeah.
Wink.
Well, we missed the schedule in which I could pretend that it came out because we actually missed the third release schedule. But I'm releasing this tonight, so yeah.
Hot off the press.
Everyone knows, Phil, that you have 4 days to write it. We're all aware of Christmas and things. We'll see where we get to. And I suppose if you're planning not to leave until the 20th, then we can fit in a few more of them realistically.
Yeah, we'll figure that out anyway. It's that's all good.
Cool.
Base roll. Is that a jumping off point?
Yeah.
For the. Let's do it.
Bye, everyone.
Sounds
we
good.
wave as
Bye.
we've always done.
Sayonara.
Cheers, Burge.
Bye. Yeah, nice one, mate. Good job. Bye.
Yeah.